What's up everyone, peace and blessings to all. Welcome to APS, another video. I'm Sabre, and before we get into this episode, make sure if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, hit that red box at the bottom of the video so you can get alerted for when I have new content, which is going to be on a weekly basis of me exploring architecture and photography. In this video, I'm going to go through a city called Sharjah. Now, Sharjah is the third most populous city in the UAE, and just a bit of a background of the UAE, it's made of 7 emirates, 7 cities, and that forms the United Arab Emirates. And Sharjah is one of them, and they all are governed by different leaders, and they have their different rules. So for example, Sharjah, they follow the more Islamic fundamentals, so they don't serve any alcohol in their city, so not even in the hotels, whilst Dubai do. I'm sure there are other differences and rules in each Emirates, but we're not going to go into that detail in today's video. So Sharjah as a city are really focused on pushing forward their education, their arts and culture, and now as they're growing, they are starting to focus on tourism as well. You go around and you see buildings being demolished, you see a lot of new builds happening, and there are a lot of nice, interesting contemporary architecture that's happening in the city. So in this episode, I'm going to show you 2 spots of Sharjah, one that's more of a tourist spot and one that's part of the art and culture. The first one is Noor Island, which is a man-made island located on Khalid Lake. As you approach the island on this curved edge bridge, you see this curved, naturally formed golden brise-soleil, which is a sun shading feature. It's freestanding, it's metal, powder coated, finished, and it wraps around this glass pavilion. And the way the brise-soleil has been created, it has thousands of blossom patterns wrapped around, and they have built-in LED lights. And the use of the golden metal and the light portraying through the gaps, it resembles the Arab culture. The pavilion was designed by 3 deluxe architects. I'm not sure if they did the whole island, but I wouldn't be surprised because there's this whole natural curved form theme going on the island. So inside this pavilion, there's a cafe and there's also a butterfly house. And in the butterfly house, there's 500 exotic butterflies with a variety of patterns and colors. And it was pretty cool actually. I've never seen butterflies properly in that kind of environment. And then you can hold them, they can sit on your finger, they rest on your finger and they fly around. Me and the family loved it, so it was a cool thing to check out. And as you come out of the pavilion and you begin the journey and the route around the island, it's almost as if you're walking around the garden of the island. So there's different types of plant species like trees and flowers, and there are also pop-ups of art installations and other architectural features. So it's a nice place to kind of chill out. It's pretty calm. It does feel like you're within nature. You can hear the birds and all of that. So that's a nice feeling. A lot of our trips in the UAE, it's really started late afternoon. So the great thing about that is the lighting was so perfect for doing like photography, or even just experiencing a space, especially like outdoor spaces. And then you also get a glimpse of how the architecture reacts when it gets dark. So when it did get dark on the island, the LED lights within the brise-soleil light up in intervals to resemble a swarm of butterflies coming together. And as the lights fade off, it resembles them separating. So that's happening on and off throughout the night. On a chilled one, it's not going like proper like strobe effect. No, it's not like that, but it's nice. It's atmospheric. So we were probably on the other side of the island approaching the exit, and you can see it, and it's like it draws your attention to the exit. Maybe it's a sign of this is the exit. There's no other way out. So it's a two-way thing. It's beautiful but functional. So the main objective of capturing photos in this experience was just photograph the building as a whole, really. I like to show the details of the architecture, that golden curved feature through the videos, but then I like to see the building as a whole with the complete curve of the brise-soleil. Noor Island is definitely a place to check out if you're in Sharjah. It's just a nice little activity thing to do. See some butterflies, see this cool curved golden building, and yeah, just have a peaceful walk around an island which filled with calm nature. The next spot I wanted to take you is to see a bit more of the arts and the culture. As you go north along the Corniche Street, you come across the Art Foundation, which is like a contemporary art hub museum. In one of my previous videos, I did a video on Ascot Avenue, which is in Dubai, which is their art hub, their modern art hub. This Art Foundation, Sharjah, is Sharjah's art hub. The architecture of the art museum is so calming, and it's just a nice place to be. So as you approach it, you get a juxtaposition between the traditional architecture and the modern minimal buildings. The way it's laid out, it feels like you're in a maze or like a ruins. So you're taking on this journey, and there's a use of warm tones and minimal finishes that create this calming atmosphere. And there are breaks in between of these crisp white block buildings, and also there are pockets of internal and external courtyards. One of the features I really liked was the use of the arch openings on the traditional parts and the straight slender windows in the newer blocks. This place has plenty of great things to see. You could probably spend a whole day here really. There's a lot of art going on. There's installations happening outside and inside. So you can really absorb a lot and really take in what the community are doing here. The light conditions were so good. I started off taking photos with my camera and I was liking it. And then I started to feel like, I just feel like doing videos today. I found a gem. I went up the steps, and the whole back of this was, I used my phone as kind of a research and experiment of lighting and composition. So I found this terrace. I went up and found this terrace, and it was really cool. There's this outdoor cinema space that they have, and you can see that from above. And the terrace is quite large. You can see the majority of the site, as well as what's happening, the contextual stuff outside of the site. The lighting was so good, but for some reason I did not take photos with my camera, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to come back here. So I just took photos on my phone, and I had a whack phone at the time. I had this iPhone 6S, and yeah, you know how many generations back that is. It's a long way back. I was gutted because I didn't end up going back again, and I've just missed out on capturing quality photos. But I looked back at my iPhone photos and I was like, you know what, these are quite good actually. I'm quite impressed, like, because the lighting was just so nice, it helped. I only needed a little bit of resolution, and the phone had enough to pick up what I'm taking photos of. And so I've just ended up featuring them in this episode because they're the only photos I had. But I worked my magic to make them more architectural and to my style, straightening out the perspective and throwing in my filter effects and editing. I probably wouldn't do that now because I don't use this iPhone 6S. I had to upgrade. The battery was just too weak. But yeah, I think the moral of this video is you can go and shoot with whatever camera you want really. Phone, camera, film, it doesn't matter because the lighting was so good. As long as your exposure is caught nicely, you're gonna capture good shots. And that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like it and share it where you can. Drop in the comments below what you think, whether you prefer to shoot on a camera or a phone. If you've been to Sharjah before, let me know your experience and whether you'll go again. I'm going to leave it there. It's a peace sign from me, and I'll catch you in the next episode.